In today's episode, we're going to be talking about You're listening to Jom Sembang Malaysia.
Alright, so how many hours do you sleep in a day, Juwita?
You talking about realistically or
You like not the statistic, not the research result or whatever, just you.
The last few nights, it's been 5 hours, 6,
Wow, so talented,
7?
huh?
5 to 7. Depending lah, depending.
Okay, just now it's interesting that we mentioned not the statistic answer lah. Okay, so the statistic answer is actually 6 to 8. Depending on how well your rest is.
Okay.
Yeah, so I normally get about 8 lah.
Wow, so talented.
So normally, what time do you go to sleep?
As in fall asleep, probably around 1.
Fall
When I go to sleep,
Yeah.
11:30, 11:45.
Okay. So like, what do you do before you sleep lah? I mean, because run me through your night sleeping routine.
Night sleeping routine. Okay, I've got this thing lah. I think I'm a little bit more productive at night.
Okay,
when
like
there's
the night owl.
no interference, yeah. Then by the time I finish, right, it can be 10, 11, 12. And I'll be like, alamak, now I need to unwind. Of course, you go and shower, wash up, everything.
But the unwind part is very much you.
Yeah, so I need to unwind. Normally, it's watch one episode, read one chapter. Either or both, depending on how much I need to unwind lah. Then...
But quite interesting, huh? Like for example, if I finish a full day of work or whatever, then at night, right, before I sleep, right, or I need to unwind like you, right, I find watching a video, it just flies over my head.
Oh.
It's like, this is not unwinding, because like, watching video kind of like, I need to concentrate to listen and all that.
But maybe your type of whatever video, like a lot of
what
brain.
type of videos do you watch to unwind before you sleep?
Hospital series lah, police series
How
lah.
is that unwinding when it's so kanchiong lah? People are running like, chasing whether you save the patient or not lah.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, well, on the side note, right, when I watch movie, right, I like to watch the backstory one. So I like to see what happened to the development of the character rather than who was sick and was healed how, or who died or who killed how. That to me is secondary. I like to watch the characters punya development story lah.
So the story is not the really kanchiong one lah. So for example, right,
or sometimes cause can rewind ma.
I cannot watch like the series House. I find that it gives a very agey energy.
Correct.
Then how is that supposed to help me to sleep lah? It either makes me watch more.
Yeah.
Because when I finish my episode, then I close my eye, try to sleep, but it's still agey vibe. Then I continue the agey vibe by watching another one and then never sleep. Or so yeah, like if you say personal development series, like what kind? Because every series would have a hook somewhere, otherwise nobody's watching it.
Okay, so recently I've been watching Doc, Elsbeth.
Okay, what's the story about?
Doc is about this person who is a very driven, quite obnoxious doctor who loses her memory. And then, she loses her, what's it called? I can't remember what's the name of the sickness. You see, so those things don't really matter to me. But although it comes out in the advert like a lot of times. But she loses the last 8 years of her life where obviously a lot of critical things have happened lah. Gone through a divorce, a lot of things. And then now she's like a lot nicer because she's forgotten the crisis in her life that caused her to become quite obnoxious. Yeah. So
it's a slower
nice
development kind of pacing story lah.
Yeah, I mean, meanwhile, of course, she's like diagnosing and she's, all her traits are slowly unfolding or stuff like that. But it's just nice to see how a person who was not very nice is now suddenly nice because she's forgotten 8 years of her life, and just to see, people still don't like her, or what happened in the last 8 years.
So it's a slower paced story lah.
Yeah. So sometimes, let's say like last night, I got to bed at 12:30 and I just felt like I needed to unwind. Then I wouldn't watch something like SWAT because...
Correct. It's like a bit of like action.
FBI or whatever. So I would go with something, not House lah. House is like,
yeah, it's another FBI in the medical term.
You see him already, you're tired, and I just see his face tired already. So something a little bit more pleasant on the eyes, a bit slower. Yeah lah, not anything so hard, not so drama, nobody chasing here and there.
What about reading? I don't know about other people, because if I'm reading something, it must be interesting. Otherwise, I won't be reading, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But if it's interesting, means I will never stop reading, right?
Yes.
Then you never sleep, right? I don't know if it happens to you before. If I find a book that I'm interested in, I have to intentionally stop reading.
All right.
Otherwise, I might read until 2-3 o'clock.
Yes.
There was once I won't read until 5 o'clock. Like, so yeah.
I thought people only do that when they are kids.
So when you said
But she's
sometimes
still a
you
kid,
read
yeah.
to unwind, then what kind of books do you read to unwind?
If it's one of those books that novel lah, Juwita. So I really love historical novels. If it's a really good book, then it's quite hard to put down. Correct. Fortunately, those books are not that easy to come across nowadays. I don't know, maybe because the ones that I have in my house, not that unputdownable lah. So
True
okay lah.
It's okay. Yeah. We sidetrack a bit.
Sidetrack.
What is your reading habit or reading stopping habit? How do you pause reading? Like, is there a format or is there a way? Like, for example, what I do is I always stop after a chapter.
Okay.
But I will read the first paragraph of the next chapter.
Really?
Because then when I pick up, if I read immediately, the next time I pick up in the next chapter, then I'm like,
What happened?
yeah. So I will read the first paragraph so that when I reread it again, when I pick it up, I'm like, oh, this is where I left off.
Okay.
I mean, that's my habit lah. But I have some friends who they like to stop in the middle of the chapter.
Okay, hold that thought. I do that for episode series. I watch. Sometimes it's so cliffhanger, right? Then I'll go to the next episode. Those on demand, right? Watch the next episode. Just watch the beginning. Oh, this happened. Okay, now I can sleep.
Okay.
But for books, ideally, end of the chapter. Sometimes by the time I'm very tired already. So then I will just go to, where's the next break? You know, in the chapter, right? Got breaks also, ma. Like, the extra space one. I don't know.
I know.
Next
chapter then got scenes.
So I try to finish those scenes lah.
In the middle of the chapter, the finished scenes lah. They got the asterisk one.
Correct.
5
then
asterisk.
At least I can put my bookmark there, and like tomorrow when I open, I know where it is lah. Yeah.
So for me, right, before I sleep, if I have to read nowadays, I choose technical reading.
Wow.
Means, let's say, leadership ka or self-help ka or
Serious?
motivation. Because those I find you cannot read in one sitting one. It's not like a storybook where you after this what happened, after this what happened. So this one is like normally you need to like reflect and think. So I find one chapter is just enough.
Yeah.
And then it stop there.
Yeah.
And then
I think it's not meant to be read the whole book in one sitting. You're supposed to read one chapter, reflect.
Correct.
Maybe apply.
Correct.
Then it makes it a bit more effective lah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is normally how I do it lah. So you normally go to bed 11 or 12 lah. Around there lah.
There was a season where I tried to make it 9. Remember? There was a season, it's like, wow, in bed by 9. It's like, woohoo! But yeah, right now it's not happening lah. I think depends lah. Busy season or not so busy season lah.
That's, for me, my 9 p.m. is happening lah.
Happening what?
Like I really, because I live alone. And I only have 2 spaces that I frequent. Either the bedroom or the office.
Okay.
So I always find that I wake up in the morning, at 8 a.m. I'm ready at my office.
Oh.
Then I have my meals also at my office table. So by the time come dinner time,
like
my brain already
already
telling me like you've been in front of the screen, or whether intentionally in front of the screen working or looking at it or just sitting there. Actually, I can sit in my office book and read a book.
Okay. Wow.
Then what really happens is after dinner about 6, I always have my dinner quite early lah, 5:36 like that.
Okay.
By 7, right, I'm ready to like retreat to my bedroom, but the sun not even down yet. So I will have to like make an intentional effort. Like, okay, should I play some games on my laptop first or whatever? Because
so you're not in bed.
Because I know that if I go to bed at that early hour, then the toss and turning will be longer.
Yes, correct.
Or I will get bored of the bed before it's time to sleep. Like my body is like aching already, this bed thing,
I have not experienced that before.
Yeah. So lately it has always been like, for example, at the most I can drag it by 8 o'clock. I'm like, okay, ready to go to bed. Then I look at the clock. Oh my God, it's 8 o'clock. And then I need to find something to do in my bedroom to keep me occupied. Having said that, if a lot of you think like, for example, I stay in the studio, so I don't have a TV. So it's not like I go to a living room and watch TV,
Yeah.
Like I watch TV at my office lah. So there is really for me, living room is a bit redundant at the moment.
Yeah.
And I don't have a reading nook. So I either read at my office chair or my bed lah. So that became a problem lah. So I think in your life should have one more extra nook or some place that you want to go lah. Otherwise you end up like me lah.
Mental note.
Yeah. So I normally go to my bedroom about 8:30. And then if I try not to scroll my phone or read too much, then by 9 o'clock I'm lights off already.
Do you think, does it change when you've been out of the house?
Sometimes.
Then you can sit there longer in your office?
Not necessary. So like sometimes I will feel like, okay, if I have work to do, then I will sit in the office. But otherwise I feel like after a whole long day out there meeting people, blah, 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 I still want to sit there. No lah, then I will just shut down.
Oh, okay, okay.
So sometimes I switch by bringing my laptop to my bed. But you know lah, laptops and bed doesn't always work with your back lah.
Yes,
like,
correct.
Like that sit cannot, like that sit like that. Yeah, so I try not to make a habit out of it lah. Yeah. So that has been my routine. That's why I'm up quite early every morning at 7.
Oh.
Because if I have a good night rest, I realize even if it's like 5 hours of solid sleep, it's quite easy to wake up in the morning. But if you have like 9 hours of turning, but your sleep is still not okay, right?
Yeah.
You still cannot wake up in the morning.
True.
Yeah. So that lah. So I think after the break, we should come back and talk about why it's so difficult to sleep sometimes.
Okay. Today's episode is brought to you by Joy Luck Penang, a pet-friendly place. You are welcome to bring your pets to chill out with you. Who knows, you might meet like-minded new friends who share the same passion as you, while your pet makes a new friend too.
Alright, now we are back from the break. I think we talked about this very briefly in another episode about why is it so difficult to fall asleep. And I remember we do share a little bit of what is this lah. So I think what happened was last year, I had difficulty sleeping.
Okay.
And I find that is looking back, because then I tried to make a change in my habit so that I sleep better. And it works because this year I find that I sleep better.
Okay.
Yeah, so for example, like last year I realized that, okay, if I have something that I'm thinking about and I don't write it down or I don't talk to someone, it keep repeating over and over again in my head.
Yeah.
And it keeps me awake. So even though I feel like I've turned off the lights, I've closed my eyes, I'm sleeping, but subconsciously it's still playing. Okay. So the sleep is not really complete rest. So that has caused a lot of frustration for me last year. Like, why I'm like, I cannot say I'm not falling asleep, because I am, but I'm semi-sleeping. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Like separuh tidur tapi separuh tengah fikir. Like the brain is like, oh, tomorrow we can do this. So actually the solution to this. And then I'm sitting down there going, shut up brain, time to sleep. You know? And
it's
then
like the lights are still on inside.
Yeah. Like it's slowly dimming off like that. But when I wake up and sit in front of the computer, nothing comes. So I'm always struggling between, should I sit down and get the thing done, or should I like wake up and get the thing done, or should I just try to sleep it off? And then sometimes I tell myself, if I remember the solution when I wake up, means it's smart solution. Like, if I don't remember, it's stupid lah, you know. Yeah. Do you struggle with something similar?
If there is something I feel like, oh yeah, I need to do this tomorrow, or oh yeah, I need to do this. Correct lah. It replays in your head for some time. So normally what I do now, 2 things. Number 1, if it's something I cannot do now, I will put it on my to-do list. And then if it is something that I know I can actually just quickly do it now, then I will go to my table, whatever, if I have to open, laptop or whatever.
But okay, this do it now, the work, right? What's the intensity of it?
No lah, it's not a big thing. Like if it's an intensive thing, I will consider I cannot do it now.
Okay.
If it's kind of like, oh, just edit some description in the YouTube.
Okay. Edit text or whatever, like a 5-10 minutes
something,
thing.
It's like, I've got this in my head, just go and type it out now. Or, that kind of thing, then, I will. But if it's, I know that, memang lah, at night already, your brain want to shut down, you know that something just cannot be done, then it will go into the tick.
But sometimes I cannot decide whether my brain is shutting down. Like it feels like it's shutting down, but it's not. It's keeping me awake. So I'm like, hello, what you want? So I feel like maybe I'm tired, but I still need to go out and churn out that work. So like what I've done before is maybe I couldn't solve a problem, and then somehow the solution like semi there, semi not there in my subconsciousness, right? Then I will get angry. I will wake up. I turn on the light, turn on everything. Then I sit down and work for 3 hours, and the sun come out. Then I go back to sleep. I used to do a lot of that when I was stressed about work. Or when I had too much on my plate that I have no thinking time. This is the interesting thing. Sometimes every day, right, you meet people, the whole day you meet people, you have meetings, and you try to do things, and then people distract you all day. Yes. Right? I think night time when I finally go to bed is when my brain says,
yes, correct.
It's quiet enough to work. And I'm like, shut up, go sleep, And then I start working, and then I need to if I'm stressed and overworked, then I find myself waking up at 2 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
Manage it, then go back to sleep at 5.
Okay, but question, right? This is not insomnia lah, in a sense. It's just things are playing in your head and then you feel like to do or not to do.
Correct.
Right? Is it a regular feature in your life?
Last year, yes. This year, I sleep like a baby.
Oh, nice. So when you say regular, that means what? Half? Or more of
80, 20?
Okay. Because for me, right, I think sleeping, like my mom always says, oh, she's really lucky one. Wherever she is, hit the pillow already can sleep. So in general, since small, right, sleeping has not been an issue for me.
Okay.
But I absolutely hate it when I'm tossing. Because I'm not used to it, right?
Okay.
And it feels like, why is this happening to me? It's a very alien feeling. So I try my best to avoid. Like if I know it's going to happen, then I will try to preempt, right? Which is why I watch the episode. So for example,
so it's to stop the working thoughts from coming or like whatever that's worrying you lah.
Yes, just to...
So you put a distraction by putting a media on it lah.
Change channel lah, so to speak lah. And mine, right? Okay, if work, I can go and do something about it. I can type that thing out or send that email or whatever, schedule the email or whatever lah. But I realized that I am most affected by things people said. The last thing I heard in my mind. So just now you said something about your own thoughts. Your own thoughts are replaying, right? Mine is more of the last thing I heard. So example, I was editing podcast. Okay, I was cleaning up stuff.
You're sleeping with my voice.
I was putting things together and then finished because deadline, right? So I finished at about 12:30. So I'm like, wow, happy lah, right? Like,
she finished at midnight and she's happy lah. Okay.
No, because finished. Then I can sleep, right? Like, okay, done. Now I can sleep, right? Deadline, I don't have to worry about this tomorrow. If anything, also minor tweaks that will like be very fast. But I got to the end of it, yay. And then my mom walks out of the room and I was like, you don't sleep ah?
Hey, mothers do that. And then, no, they do that in a very scary, startling way. Like, I used to live with my parents and I'm quietly working and it's so quiet at night, right? They have to like, not whisper, but talk like, wait, what is still wait? It's like, it's 10 times louder and your whole heart jump out like that, you know? And then I always tell them, can't you just whisper or like, not like tap or something before you suddenly talk and then, you know.
But mine wasn't because I can see one in my line of sight. I can see it.
Oh, okay.
But
mine
the
always
thing
heart
was,
attack.
it felt like I was getting scolded for, why you don't want to sleep? Like as if I'm playing, which sometimes I do lah. Sometimes I do play game. But at the back of my mind, I'm like, hey, you think I want to stay up awake and do this thing, you know? So it was bugging me.
But I like that sentence. You think I want to stay up awake? Yes, most parents think it's like that. Because what we do is because we often stay up at late, then it was like, you always work at night one, and then daytime I see you don't work.
True. Because it's quiet, no interruption. So then I'm thinking, but I should say that got deadline, I have to finish. But then I don't want to stress the situation because, you know, stress lah. Like, why are you doing so many things, blah, 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 you know. So anyway, so I go brush teeth and it's still bugging me, right? And I'm like, now it's not that I finished the podcast. I need to unwind from. I just need to erase that.
The energy?
That annoyance from my head.
Oh, that focus high energy or whatever?
No.
Or just annoyance?
Why would you tell me such a thing? I know.
Okay. It's not even the word. It's the person telling you.
It's the sentence, the words. So, you know, I'm a very word person. Like, words are my love language.
Does it make you think about, am I really spending too much time at night? No. Then?
It's just, why would you say something like that? You know?
To make you feel better, all parents do that.
I know. That's the thing. So then my brain will be like, all parents do that. Maybe she thought you're playing games. Maybe blah, 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 is going around. So I'm like, okay, brush teeth.
For you doing that, her is like, I finished asking her to go back to sleep.
Exactly. Right? So then, what telling this story because it's words, right? So it could actually be even like the last text that I received that just said something strange like, why blah, blah, blah. And then we go like, okay, good night. Then my brain, right, is like,
hanging conversation.
Like cliffhanger, right?
Okay, disclaimer. I do that to her quite often. Yes. It's because number one, she reply very slow So I really want to ask a question and then answer and then I will sleep. But then her answer comes like, okay, it's not coming. Then I go and play game. But I want to sleep already. Then sometimes then I don't want to leave her hanging. So instead of like, you know, waiting for a reply, then she might wait for my reply. I will just say, okay, I don't know you reply now. Good night.
And then I'll be like, Hello. So that is one.
But that is also because I'm sleeping at 9 and 10 o'clock. You're sleeping at 12, so it's not my fault, right? But then I ask you a question, you're on your active mode trying to get things like, I'm like, can we just finish the conversation so that I can sleep?
Okay, so my thing is like, okay, we already established that I overthink. So really now is like to stop that cycle of thinking. Therefore, which episode shall I watch now? That's at least that is already one thing. And then okay, just erases brings me up to another world. Because I cannot read also. If my head is like that, I cannot read because I cannot function with too many
the words fly over your head.
Yeah, I don't really need to watch when she's doing her rounds or she's checking the pulse or MRI or whatever. It's not words. But when words and words come together, like even if music and talking, I cannot. So yeah.
Next time I should put after 7 I don't text you. Since your day starts so late. Okay, sidetrack a bit or rather, let's dive into the part where what happens when you don't have enough sleep.
I become groggy in the morning.
People get grumpy, you get groggy.
I don't think I'm grumpy.
I tell you, I'm only grumpy if I'm hungry.
Okay.
Just in case yeah.
I would only get grumpy. Okay, I wake up grumpy if somebody woke me up on a day that I actually needed sleep.
Hey, parents do that. Sorry, parents.
I know.
They like to do this thing where I remember this very clearly from my childhood days. Okay, my mom would say, wake up. And then I said, but we can wake up so early for what? Then she said, no, we should go out for breakfast. That might be happening like 7:38. And I'm thinking, it's a weekend, what on earth, right?
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh, wake up. And then she knows that I cannot sleep without fan.
Oh, yes!
The moment you turn off the fan, suddenly like the sleeping mode somehow gone already. I don't know the weather change or the humid change or whatever. Okay, that is already one lah. And then second thing she like to do is turn on the lights.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one.
It's the worst way to wake someone up.
Correct.
Because the person is like in a shock, confused mood like that, right?
And it will take longer to get up because your brain's like trying to what's going
already
on,
angry when you get up. Okay, but my mom and my father take it to the next extreme.
Oh no.
They say, okay, see you in the car, and they were sitting in the car, you can hear the engine, and then you're still in bed. I remember when I was young, they do that all to me all the time. Then I'm like thinking, why they go and like emotional guilt trip me like this? And it happens to my sister. Both of us will be like, why are they in the car when we're still in the bed? But it's their way up. And then they will horn. Hello? Are you up yet? Shouldn't you be dressing up? Like,
okay.
And then I realize if I'm waken up that way, I get very grumpy.
Oh my gosh, I feel so normal now.
Because I feel like it's so unfair, man. You get to wake up peacefully and you ruin my wake up.
Yes.
And then you spoil my entire morning at least. And then I'm like, oh, why is this? So I think maybe that was one of the reasons why I moved out lah. Besides the midnight scare of what are you doing? to the morning, turn on everything, turn off everything, and then I see you in the car.
No, so I think there are two types of going to bed people and two types of waking up people.
Okay.
Right? The people who can just hit the pillow and gone. I used to be like that lah, now not really. And then the other people who need to unwind, have some routine, whether it's do the face
I think
or whatever.
the people who need to unwind
down.
somehow has a more occupied life.
It could just be age, like aging.
Really?
So I don't know. And then
because I said like last year my sleeping was quite bad, right?
Yeah.
This year is better, right? It's because when I realized that if my daily life is not occupied with too much things, it's quite easy to sleep without unwind.
Oh, there's nothing to unwind from lah.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Why do we need to tell ourselves, okay, we must unwind before we sleep? Why can't we reduce whatever that we need to unwind from so that we can sleep properly lah?
Okay, so looking back at my life,
Cewa.
Maybe because last time there's less responsibility on you. The things that you do are not necessarily your own projects, right? So you dengar kata boss, for example.
Correct. You just
office,
go to work, you come back, lock off, your brain is already done.
Yeah, and then so even from a young age when I started, I was already doing my singing gigs and stuff. But it's still, I'm going for a show, or rehearsal finish already, come back, done lah.
Correct.
So now that we have our own projects running, there's a lot more communication,
That's
negotiating, strategic
don't be your
planning.
own boss. You just end up working 24/7.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of that happening. Then I have to think, oh, have I told my intern tomorrow what's happening? Where are we supposed to meet?
We assume he can just read our minds.
Things like this, when you've got people, that you are responsible for, then there's a lot more playing in your mind lah. So I think you are right also lah when you say that occupied thing lah. But that's the going to sleep thing lah. Huh? The waking up things also got two type of people.
Okay.
There are those who alarm, boom, and then they're like, boom, okay, awake, wow, on all the lights, shower, blah, 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 make coffee, breakfast. And then there's the people like you and me who need to wake up properly, peacefully, otherwise.
People like you, okay, not you and me.
Just now you say what?
I'm like, for example, I can only wake up. Okay, just now the example is when I don't have enough sleep or sleep was not good enough. Then I get like that. But on a time that where I actually get enough good sleep,
okay,
the alarm ring, I pop, step off, wake up, done.
Ooh.
In 5-10 minutes, I can be out of the house.
Okay, that's
so I think, again, the
Yes.
waking up is influenced by the sleeping.
Okay. Faham.
I think it's related lah. It's not so much of the type. So if you're having difficulty sleeping, chances are you have difficulty waking up is because when you finally fall asleep, it's time to wake up.
Okay, that does not define me.
Okay? Or, like for example, you finally fall asleep, right? Then your
Yeah.
mom decide to wake you up. Then you're like, hello, I got another 2 hours left to sleep, you know? Then I might be waking up grumpy. Okay? But if I have enough sleep and someone wake me up, I will wake up quite willingly. Because my body, you say enough sleep. So I'm not sure if you have experienced this before. Like for example, I tell myself, okay, this weekend I shall sleep and rest well.
Mm-hmm.
But then I end up finding a 5 hour of good sleep and then I wake up at 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning. I say, what am I doing? But the body feels very rested.
Yeah.
Therefore, I wake up quite willingly. And then, even though I say, okay, now let's try to sleep some more, cannot. Because the body say, okay, I'm well rested, cukup already. Even though it's 5 hours or whatever, but it was a good rest, pure, complete rest or whatever. Then I realized that trying to sleep extra doesn't work for me.
Okay, then I must go and analyze a bit more. By getting up.
Maybe lah. Because I think there is a few factors to it, but I think the quality of our sleep determines the mood when we wake up or whether we can wake up nice or whatever like that lah. Okay, there's a research that shows that there's such thing as sleep debt.
Okay,
so let's say you're supposed to sleep 6 hours a night.
Yeah.
Okay, and then for 1 week you're supposed to sleep 42 hours lah.
Okay.
But let's say people like you cannot sleep lah, unwind lah, mother wake you up lah, whatever lah.
Yeah.
So you slept 3 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours. So at the end of the week, you have maybe a 8-hour sleep debt.
Okay, yeah.
You can actually claim back by taking 8-hour naps.
8-hour naps.
Having an example. So whatever that you miss out, your sleep debt, you can actually take a long weekend and recover, like take the same amount of naps so that your body actually has the amount of rest that you need. For example, right, you need to work 40 hours a week. Okay? Your body need 42 hours, correct? 42 hours of sleep, right? And then if you in between 1 day 9 hours, 1 day 6 hours or whatever, it still needs that 42 hours. Otherwise, it's running on deficit. Deficit recovery, because our body recover during sleep.
Okay.
So it's like the more we shortchange our body of sleep, then the more the body shortchange you of the recovery process, the recuperating process, the whatever, and then you start to go down the drain lah.
Okay, but I also think there is there's a dividend to it. Not a dividend. What's
What? I know deficit. I don't know what's a dividend.
Dividend is something that you receive, the one that you have to pay one.
Yeah.
When let's say last time you could do overnighters, right?
Yeah.
Like you, as in work through the entire night. Like
when you're in the early
until the
20s,
next day, right?
correct.
And there's no problem. And then after that, it's like until 3 o'clock. You work until 3 o'clock and then you go to sleep, wake up 6. So maybe at 4 hours.
Correct.
But that payback comes with interest later.
Yeah, at the later age.
So it's not like, I am short I owe 8 hours of sleep, right? I cannot actually just pay back 8 hours. I have to pay back more. There's
8
interest
plus
on
30
it.
minutes.
No, but it's true. I think so.
Yeah, so those are some things. I think the other thing is sleeping environment lah. What's your sleeping environment like?
Bedroom lah.
I think our Asian people have a very unhealthy sleeping environment.
Okay, tell.
Okay, so for example, I don't know about you. Who has a TV in their bedroom?
Me?
Yeah, normally the master bedroom lah, okay? Or the parents' bedroom lah.
Recently.
But that's the thing, right? If you are sleeping, you're supposed to be in a dark or semi-dark environment, okay? Then you have a glaring TV glaring at you. How is that supposed to help you with your sleep?
Then unwind lah.
No, I mean, physically, you're unwinding your mind, but you're not preparing your body to sleep, is what I'm saying. We can prepare the mind to sleep, but more often than that, we forgot to prepare the body to sleep.
True.
The whole having a nice, correct temperature environment. You're not sweaty and then thinking scratchy, or or let's say a dimmer room.
Okay.
You don't want totally dark maybe lah, okay? So you have a dimmer room, but the glaring TV is not helping you lah, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So what what is your sleeping environment?
Okay, so my sleeping environment. So in my current place, we have blackout curtains. So I don't close it all the way. Is it still blackout? No, I changed my curtains recently. So
obviously no use for it.
No lah, it's semi. It's kind of heavy, but it's not the totally blackout one. Otherwise, morning also don't know. I don't get bothered by the lights out there because actually I can see the highway from my window lah. So it can be quite bright. So it's closed enough to feel dark. It doesn't feel like too bright. The TV is not big lah. It's what size is this? I think smaller than this.
Okay.
Yeah. So
this as in Juwita is pointing to a TV next to us.
Correct. I don't know how many inch, but it's smaller. So I think in terms of the glare, having a smaller TV does help. Okay, so that. And then, this is funny. My bedside lamp recently broke down.
Okay.
And then, actually, I could have tried replacing the lamp, but then I'm like, but I don't like this one. Very long time already, so this is my chance to remove. And then there's another lamp that is, the Sarawak, the clay type with holes one.
Okay.
Like hotel one lah. The hotel one lah.
She replaced her lamp with a hotel lamp. Okay.
Somebody gave me lah. And it's been not being used. I'm like, okay, let's put this to use. But it's got the old bulb, right? So it's yellowish. And when it's very dark, actually it's nice because it will cast like yellowish pattern around the whole house. But when I try to read, right, it cannot. So I brought a small, the IKEA, I don't know what, touch one.
Okay.
It's not bright enough
now
for me
we learned that she read in the dark.
It's not bright enough to read. So I'm like, this doesn't work. So actually that also helps with keeping my reading short because I'm like, please don't spoil your eyes. So just for now that is my sleeping thing. We turn on the AC.
At least you're doing one thing right.
Turn on the AC.
Yeah, keeping the room cool or chill or at a certain comfortable temperature. Yeah,
but I don't run it the entire night. So I used to time it to turn off at 3 o'clock. And then after that we stopped. I still don't know why. So sometimes it runs all the way to 6 and I'm like, oh no, it's still on. We time it because also I don't want it to be too dry because I find that I get nose throat problems. So up to 3 o'clock and then after that small fan lah. Like that.
Okay, cool. Just learning more.
So then you can use blanket because blanket is nice. Otherwise,
correct. That's why I sleep well in hotels. Because hotel has aircon. My house has no aircon.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, today's episode, who would have thought that we would talk so long about sleep? Mm-hmm. It's like, I thought we would probably talk 15 minutes, but it's like double the time.
Hopefully they haven't gone to sleep.
Anyway, hopefully you have discovered, maybe learn a little bit more about your own sleeping patterns or your own sleeping routine and how you can improve better, because it can be improved if you intentionally do something about it. Because now I'm sleeping really well.
Wow.
Like even if I go to sleep early, I can wake up at 4 or 5 because I'm sleeping at 10.
Awesome.
To do stuff. And I don't feel tired throughout the day because it's good quality sleep. It's not half-baked quality sleep. So I think the quality of sleep is very important.
Okay, I will try that. Jom Sembang Malaysia is hosted by two Malaysians who are passionate about Malaysian stuff. Stay tuned every week for a brand new Sembang session with Juwita Suwito and Gina Yoong. Today's episode is recorded at Studio 2105. Remember to click like and subscribe for a brand new episode next week.